would like to ask the first question? Lloyd?
Aaron, how's Dave pulled up, and what he said on 11 for tomorrow?
Davey's fine. He'll play tomorrow. No doubt about that. In terms of the 11, we'll name it at the toss.
Right, so is it still the bowling attack? That's kind of the tossing and getting that?
Something like that.
Right. Who's kind of in the mix, if you don't mind me asking?
Honestly, everyone's in the mix. We're very close to an 11, but we're not going to name it yet. Everyone's been in really good form, both in the previous series that we've played, the practice games, and the 3 games we played against New Zealand. So everyone's in contention.
Did you expect that the selections were going to be this tough this early?
Absolutely, yeah. It's always really tough early in the tournament, especially when everyone is coming off really good form in the previous series that we've played and in the lead-up. Everyone's hitting the ball beautifully in the nets, everyone's bowling well. So it's a real positive that any time someone's been given an opportunity, they've taken it, which makes selection so hard. But it's a good position to be in all the same.
Aaron, what did you make of the West Indies this morning if you saw them?
I didn't
think they were working. Legal. Sorry, are they on? Hello? They're not on. Aaron, what did you make of the West Indies this morning?
I didn't see a huge amount of it, but from reading the scorecard and watching a little bit over the last hour or so, they've been pretty impressive.
2 games in, is the short ball a key? Is that something that's emerged as a pretty important weapon this World Cup, do you think? Yeah,
I think everyone will be using that, no doubt, with quite a few of the grounds being such short, straight boundaries, and in England with such long square boundaries at times, depending on where you play. I think it'll be a huge asset.
John?
I think it's obviously going to be, if you don't like the boys, come selection. What's
Yep.
going to be the message to those guys for this game? Because the guys have missed out for this game and will miss the tournament.
Yeah, it's about it being a long tournament and making sure that you're ready to go at any stage. Because we travel around quite a bit with our games, we don't have too many back-to-back in the same spot. It's about adapting to conditions and every player being ready. And we've seen in the past that, like the last World Cup, we played all 15 players we used, and that wasn't as long a tournament as this is in terms of games played. So it's about everyone being ready, and because it can change at the last minute depending on conditions. As we know, wickets can stay under cover for a lot longer in these parts, and it's just making sure that we're fully prepared every game.
Aaron, Justin Langer spoke during the week about how he's never seen a dressing room with so much laughter in it, and drawing a contrast to 12 months ago. What's your perspective on that, as the journey the team's been on since 12 months ago when you were in the UK?
Yeah, obviously winning helps that, no doubt. It was a really tough series last time we played here, 5-0 loss, but I think everyone's really enjoying each other's success, which is a huge part. I think when you're especially building up to a World Cup, when there's so much talk about selection and guys pushing really hard to maybe get that last spot or them last couple of spots, it can be, teams can go insular at times and start to look after your own performance and make sure that you're doing everything that you can to find that selection spot. But one thing that we're really conscious of and that we talk quite a bit about in the lead up to the last couple of series is that as soon as you start playing for yourself, it tends to go against you. And if you can do everything that you can for the team, that's looked favourably on it. And you look back in the history of cricket, guys that continually hung around and they might have been 12th man for a few tours, but they keep getting that extra tour because they're doing everything that the team needs. And then you get an opportunity, and like you think back to the 99 World Cup or 2003, Andy Bickle, he was just around the mark all the time, got an opportunity, and then played some really key roles in winning the tournament for Australia. So that was a message that you do everything that you can for the team and never put yourself before the team. Sorry.
Aaron, Steve Smith's obviously been such a large figure in Australian cricket for a while and such a big leader of the team. What's it like having him sort of fit back as just another player in a sense? And what's that like for you as the captain? What's that relationship like in trying to, I guess, fit back in that sense?
Yeah, he's been great around the team and great for me as well. I think he's probably got a bit more spare time on his hands. He gets bored pretty easy. That's why you'll see him training for hours on end. He doesn't like it when he's told he can't train for the day. So that's just one thing. I suppose when you're the captain, there's a bit more stuff that occupies your time at at various times. So, but he's been brilliant around the boys. He's been great for me, just talking cricket, talking batting, things like that, and lessons that he's learnt from being captain and leading the team. I think they've been really important for me, and just general conversation. The guys who have come back look really relaxed. They're ready to go, as everyone is.
Has it been a relief to seeing how well they're hitting the ball? I mean, there's a lot of thought that after a year out of international cricket, they might not be up to scratch, but they certainly appear that way.
Oh, I think when you're world-class players, you adapt again really quickly and you get up to speed. And having them play, I think 13 games each in the IPL is really important. It just gets you. That's a high standard of cricket, so it just gets you back up to sort of as close to international competition as you can, which was really important. And I think that when Steve's one of the all-time greats. By the time he'll finish the game, there's no question about his batting ability. So when you're great, you get the game quicker. Things just happen quicker. So there was never any issue about how he'll bounce back. And the same with Davey. They're both so competitive. They're both got great records. So there was never any doubt how well they'd come back.
And just on an earlier point, we're talking about the short pitch bowling. I mean, is it a relief for you though to see how well it is working your shape in this World Cup? Because consider your attack. I mean, it works so well towards short pitch bowling in that sense, especially with Pat and Mitch in there.
Yeah, I think that's something that when the wicket's not doing a hell of a lot, it's nice to try and shut down half of the ground with using short pitch bowling, and it's not a surprise that other teams are using it. No doubt, it's when the wickets are true and they're good to be able to just hit through the line. If people keep pitching it up, you're asking for trouble. I think so. I think it will play a big part in the tournament, along with spin and you can look at every team and they've got different strengths. So teams will use it differently, but no doubt that it'll be a big part.
You played Afghanistan 2015 and won pretty comprehensively. Do you see it being a much different test this time? They've obviously come quite a long way since then.
Yeah, absolutely. They've turned into a really world-class side at times. They've got some of the best bowlers in the world, and their batting is improving all the time. So you can never take a side like that for granted. And if you look back at 2015, we played them at the Wacker, which was probably the furthest from their home conditions that you could possibly get, and as good a conditions that we could have played in. So to come here to Bristol, still haven't seen the wicket. Didn't see it yesterday. It was still under covers, and also the day before when there was a lot of rain around. So, they're a dangerous side. They're very dangerous. We've seen around the world some of the performances that their players are putting up in very strong domestic competitions. It's like I said, if you take your foot off the gas for a second, they'll hurt you, and you still have to play at your absolute best to beat them.
What was it like meeting the Queen, and can you tell us about your banter with Prince Harry?
Oh, it was an honour to meet the Queen. It was my second time, so I feel very fortunate to have met her twice. And Prince Harry, obviously having a dig at my age. It was, I didn't think I'm that old, but 32. It's getting on a bit, isn't it?
Aaron, I realise the focus is on tomorrow's game, but just in terms of Afghanistan, how important is it for the game that they consider to emerge as the strong nation, particularly even in Test cricket in the next few years?
Yeah, I think to see their growth in the last 4 years in particular has been huge. Even them winning their warm-up game against Pakistan, they played brilliantly. They bowled excellent. They batted excellent. For the World Game, they've got such a huge following of cricket fans in Afghanistan, and some huge marquee players that are so sought after around the world that cricket is growing quicker and quicker there, and it's a great story. And when you talk to their players, I was talking to their captain the other day, Gulbadine, and he was saying how passionate their fans are and how they've got support all over the world now, which is huge for cricket, not just in Afghanistan but world cricket, to have them firing.
Aaron, just following up that question from JP, Afghanistan wouldn't have played 4 years ago had the World Cup been 10 teams.
Yep.
And this time around, of course, you're in Zimbabwe last year who aren't playing this time around. Do you think it's lamentable that the World Cup has reduced from 14 to 10 teams?
Well, it's a bit more Champions Trophy style format, isn't it? That you get there on rankings. I'm not too sure. I haven't thought about it, to be honest. I think that when the structure is as it is now, with a round robin format, to have 14 teams would probably be a bit too much. With the older groupings, it's comfortably done. But round robin, I think that's probably a format that does produce the best team as the winner. Whereas a round robin, you can sneak through and you can sort of dodge opposition. I mean, we didn't play South Africa last time, who were an unbelievably dangerous side. So I think that to play everyone and then to get down to 4 teams, 2 and then 1, I think it's a real test of teams peaking at the right time, but also managing their way with their full 15-man squad, managing their way through the tournament.
Last one. Yep.
Just Aaron, overnight, Jason Dunsell and Stu Coventry will depart under the Big Bash restructured.
Yep.
Were you aware of that, and do you think that's the right vision going forward for the CB teams?
I wasn't a huge amount aware of it until today. Got a call this morning, so really disappointed actually. Stu and Jason have put a huge amount of work in, Stu in particular, over the last 7 years to get the franchise to where it is now, to be leading the way, one of the top teams in terms of membership and success, and to have success last year was great for the side. But yeah, feeling sorry a lot for both of them. Stu in particular, who's done so much work for everyone and been a huge support for myself and Andrew Sakes before that, Simon Helmut before that. So yeah, really feeling for him, but also very thankful for the work that they've done. And I've spoke to Stu this morning. I haven't spoke to Jason, but yeah, really feeling for him.
Thanks, Aaron.
Aaron, sorry, just one more. Just on David coming back and that opening partnership with Usman changing, him going down to 3. How do you feel about that dynamic, considering how successful it's been for you over the last 8 games leading into the World Cup?
Yeah, Dave and I have had a great partnership over the years as well. I mean, I think that was a pretty key part of our 2015 World Cup win. I've known them both for a long time. I've batted with them both for a long time. So whichever way we decided to go with that, it didn't faze me either way. I think Davey's destructiveness in the power play is a huge reason why he's one of the best players in the world. And when he gets in, he can be so dominant on attack. So Usman or Sean, whichever way we go at 3 there, Usman's number 3 batter in Test cricket, so there's no issues around whether he can do it. Sean was very successful when he's done it over the last 12 to 18 months. So yeah, we've got some great options there, and we'll sit down this afternoon and nut that out.